Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's masterclass that is about empowering ourselves on self-confidence. And my name is Rosalia Shiwever. I'm the lead coach of the Global Mindset Coaching Academy. And I'm so happy to be here with all of you. We have 3 participants. Okay, we are 3, all of us on this class today. That means I have 2 participants here, and I'm so glad to have you all. We really want to speak about self-confidence and hoping that when you walk away from this masterclass, at least you have the idea around self-confidence, discovering what is self-confidence, why is it important, and to identify the things that affect our self-confidence, to apply some of the strategies for us to build self-confidence, and also appreciate the importance of setting goals to build self-confidence and develop goal setting strategy. As I mentioned, I'm the lead coach of the Global Mindset Coaching Academy. And overall, I'm just an African woman at heart who is so joyful, who is passionate about self-development and hoping that I can use my passion to become my purpose and empower others to find themselves and find their best version. And I am Namibian. I'm living in Namibia. I've currently relocated back home. Maybe some of you have met me before when I'm talking about my life in China or sharing my stories from China. But currently I am back home and I'm so happy to be back home. And I would love to also share maybe about my qualifications. I hold a master's degrees in urban planning. I hold a certification in business development, digital marketing, public governance, and I have certification in language skills, English language skills, and also Chinese language skills. So I'm a communicator, I am a content creator, I am a life coach, I'm an urban planner. I am also a lifelong learning. So if in my spare time, I mostly spend my time doing a lot of studies just to really understand how we people operate and how much can we grasp so that we can ensure that I learn. And when I continue to empower my participants, especially in my coaching academy, I hope that I really share a lot of knowledge and share what I'm able to so that they can also walk away with some skills. And it doesn't need to take them like over 10 years to really improve their self-development. You just need to get the nuggets and work with that skill so that you can go and improve yourself. Since we are few, I would love to know who is on this live. Maybe you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself. It's good that we are even few so that we can now engage and interact and learn more. I have Maria here. I also have Sylvia Alifas. If you guys can unmute, and introduce yourself, that would be really beautiful. Yes. And also tell us, why do you think it is important for you to join this masterclass? Maybe I would love to start with Sylvia. You can introduce yourself and share with us. I know you already shared the reason why you would love to be here. By the way, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Maria. Okay, Maria, please introduce yourself. You don't have to take off your video. You just introduce yourself and share with us, why do you think self-confidence is important? And then we can continue.
Good morning. My name is Eva Maria. And do I say what I do?
Anything that you feel comfortable.
Oh,
And yes.
okay. I'm a recent UNAM graduate, a recent UNAM dental graduate, and I'm also a baker. I'm a sister and I'm an auntie. And I feel like it's it's important to attend this self-confidence what is it seminar, because it's one of the important skills that a person needs to have in life, especially in adulthood. You need to face adulthood with confidence. So I feel like it's very important to me to participate in this seminar. Okay.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was really pleasant, and we're so happy to have you here. Sylvia, please introduce yourself. And yes. If you're able, Sylvia, to introduce yourself, you can do so. If not, that's okay as well. All right. I would love to start by saying, what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is the ability for us to be able to, the ability of us believing that we are able to do certain things or be certain people. That is really what is self-confidence. And when you walk having self-confidence, or when you live your life by experiment on your self-confidence, you will realize that every single day you will maybe wake up and say, I can do something, or I would love to be something. Remember when you wanted to firstly maybe enter into university, and you had to think whether you're able to go and study whatever course you selected. And that decision that you made, that you would love to be this person, that is you exercising your self-confidence. And it's a belief that you're able to do something. So question yourself, what at this moment do you believe that you're able to do? And also, what at this moment you're not able to do? Maybe you're telling yourself you're not able to do certain things because of certain reasons, and that could come from somewhere. And as a life coach, I'm not here to share with you why you are behaving the way you are, but I'm here to support you to be from one place to the next. For instance, if I was in your journey before to be helping you to make a decision to start a certain career or to go into a certain university, as a life coach, I would support you to make a decision on which career would you, which course would you select, or which career would you go into. And I would applaud you. Every single step in your life really is enhanced by your self-confidence. As well, self-confidence is not a constant thing. Sometimes we will believe that we're able to do certain things, but other times we're not going to be able to do certain things. And according to our internet or resources that I've researched, self-confidence beliefs is defined as people's judgmental of their own capability to perform specific tasks. And it's a product of complex processes of self-persuasion that relies on what we believe about ourselves. It also relies on a lot of sources. For example, your environment, where you're growing up, people who are around you, your community. All that is going to enhance or make you believe that you are able to be a person or make a decision in a certain way. Now, self-confidence fluctuates in our lives. I would love to give an example. When we were in primary school, maybe we had a cheerleader who was our teacher. But as we grow older, 30 years, 40 years, we'll realize that in life, there will be no one who is really cheering us on. Obviously, you would have your family or your support system, but you will realize that at a lot of stages in your adulthood, you will need to make those decisions by yourself, or you would rather need to take that leap of faith and guide yourself through processes. So believing that you're able to do something will be enhanced by different factors, and that is what is really about self-confidence. And truly to understand the roots of self-confidence in an African context, as for example, as Namibians, we would want to question, like, why are we self-confident the way we are? Or why do I have little self-confidence or low self-confidence? And why do I have high self-confidence in some areas? I would give you an example. When you are studying in primary school or in high school, you might have self-confidence because at the end of every self-semester, your teacher is telling you that you are a brilliant student. And have you ever considered, if you are a brilliant student and you were having praise from your teacher and they're telling you that you can do something, have you considered about other students who have never been praised and they were only been told that they're dumb? Maybe teachers don't use the direct word of saying someone is dumb, but rather they would end up saying that, why are you doing this? Why are you acting like this? Why are you not able to read fast? Why are you not able to achieve certain goals or certain why are you not able to show certain abilities in the classroom? Therefore, when we have the opportunity for someone to tell us that we can do something, then that empowers our self-confidence. But when there's no one to tell us that, then we also start questioning, are we able to do that? And in the African context, a lot of us have the opportunity to be praised by our teachers, but we also have the opportunity to be praised by our parents. But do you know that at home, mostly we are praised when we have really done well? Maybe we have excelled at school, which was a really open opportunity for someone to excel. But maybe other times parents don't really know how to praise their children at home. And therefore you grow up believing that it's only when you have the ability to excel in education that you're able to excel in education, you are able to really carry that self-confidence. And let's say now we are no more students, we are no more at school. What is the other opportunity for you to be praised? You can be praised when you have a job. You can be praised when you get maybe engaged or get married. You can be praised when you're after marriage, you get a child, you have those stages in life that you can be praised. But other times, there's not really an opportunity for you to be praised, or rather to be encouraged that you can do it, you are an amazing person, and all that. So you can see in our communities or in Africa, we have a lot of instances where there are people who can cheer you on, but there should be an end result of that. You are good or you are smart. You'll get a report card at the end of the semester. Oh, at this moment, you're really good because you got a job. At this moment, you're really, really good because you are now married. But what about other times when we are flowing in life, through life, without any direction or any opportunity for a significant change? What if you are in a plateau where nothing is really moving and you are not having anything to show, no result to show that you are able, or you are also souring, you are growing, you are evolving, and people can see the result. So results encourage people to feel confident. But when there's no result in our lives, they will, and especially when the results are not appealing, we will not feel confident. And self-confidence is not something that, as I mentioned, it's not something that is consistent. It will fluctuate at different seasons, but it's really at high peak when we are winning. But when things are not working out, we will be questioning ourselves. Are we able to do certain things? So if I can get an indication, maybe you guys can write in the chat box, what do you think? How is your self-confidence so far? Or maybe let me ask a question of, how confident are you to attain the dreams that you aspire to attain? You can just let me know in the chat box. You can write in the chat box and share with how confident are you to attain whatever dream that you aspire to achieve. Maria is saying my self-confidence is good, 8/10, but not every day portrays that. Thank you, Maria, for sharing that. Victoria just joined us. Thank you, Victoria, for joining. Maria says her self-confidence 8 out of 10, but not every day that maybe she will be able to show that every day I'm self-confident. And I think that is really, really okay to be a place to be. It is okay for us to know we are an 8 out of 10. Lucia says mine is a little low, but I'm trying to learn and to build that. Thank you, Lucia, for sharing that. I'm so glad you're here. And Sylvia is saying self-confidence 7 over 10. Right. Therefore, who is that? All right. So you can say that when you are a 7 over 10 or an 8 over 10, but not every day we see that we are self-confident. It's okay for us to know that not every day we'll be self-confident. But really, for us to walk through the journey of life, we need to know that every single step, you need a little more than self-confidence. Because it's not only self-confidence that will take you through in life challenges. Sometimes we'll need motivation, we'll need courage, and sometimes we'll need discipline to continue and trying our best. Therefore, when we know that it's not every day we feel very much confident, it's okay. It's truly okay. But let's think about the times in our lives when we're told that we are not good enough, not beautiful, not able. And right now, maybe you are at a place where you feel you are just low and there's nothing that seems like it's working. Mostly our self-confidence is challenged by our inner voice. And our inner voice is now the thoughts every day you wake up and you tell yourself, are you able or you're not able? Let me give you an example of you going for an interview and you're really called for an interview to go interview for a very big position and you feel, wait, I'm called? Who am I to go there? Who am I to achieve that? And who am I to be called in this big position? You'll question yourself. Imposter syndrome will come in and you'll wonder, am I even deserving? So our self-confidence, thank you, Sylvia, I'll come back to you. Our self-confidence can fluctuate, but there are some roots inside us already telling us that we are really, really fake or really not doing well in life. Sometimes, even when you go for an interview and you get the job, you'll come back home and tell yourself, am I even able to really complete that job? Why? It's because our self-confidence at one time in our lifetime, we're told before that we are not enough. We were reminded that we are not enough and we need to be a certain way to be accepted in life. And we need to be specific people. We need to really make sure we are a certain way to make sure people around us feel mostly comfortable. And in our life coaching academy, we believe everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Everyone is having that opportunity to succeed at anything that they want to achieve, you know. But in our minds, we have a negative thought, and every one of us, when we walk around, we have that negative speech. We have the negative speech that we speak to ourselves, telling ourselves that we are not enough. And every one of us have that. And it's important for us to remember that everyone at some point feel like a failure, like not enough and not capable. We have those questioning. But it's now what you do when you feel negative and then you are supposed to change or you're supposed to make a different decision. It's within that moment, you really need to make better decision for yourself. Otherwise, you will then not move forward. And life is about moving forward and taking the next steps, right? I'll come to the chat box. But why do we sometimes don't have the self-confidence, for example, to put on the beautiful clothes that expose our body's beauty? Why do sometimes we don't have the confidence to go for job interviews or take on some opportunities? It's because we were once told that we are really not that good and we are really not that excellent. And that's external validation. But if we tell ourselves, look inside within us and tell ourselves that we are enough and able, then we can make a decision that can be like moving forward, moving to the next step in your life, whatever that looks like right now for you. And some of us can lack self-confidence, especially in adulthood, because there will be no one to tell us now we are doing good. If you're not attaining the next big thing and you're only in the plateau of being constant, that means in that moment, there will be like, what am I even doing? There's no external validation coming in. Maybe you don't have enough money. Maybe you are not just winning. So in that moment, you really question yourself, am I even good enough? Where is my self-confidence? And that's when even depression and burnout and stress and anxiety comes in, because at that point, things does not look like they are moving forward to what you have been taught or believed to be. And therefore, adulthood is more than us just getting the accolades, the success that looks like people understand what success look like, because at the end of the day, in adulthood, there will be so many circumstances that will change and shift our life stories. Let me read in the comment section. The comment section, Maria is saying, I do agree that we are only cheered up mostly when we win. Lately have been achieving my goals at a very slow pace, and which sometimes makes me feel I'm not good enough. All right. Oh, Sylvia shared that. Lately, she has been achieving at a very slow pace.
Sylvia.
Yes, Sylvia. Yes, Sylvia. Thank you. And a slow pace, and it doesn't look like, it makes you feel like you're not good enough. Thank you, Sylvia, for sharing that. And Maria said, also a question, do we need to be cheered up always as human beings? And why do we always feel we should have someone congratulating us or so? Oh, yes, that is really, really interesting. Why do we always need, really, why? I do believe we need cheerleaders because we're supposed to exist in a community. Yeah, it's really about telling us each other that we can do it. We were supposed to exist in a community, and we cannot continue moving forward without us acknowledging we are part of the community. A community that is how human beings are programmed. We were supposed to exist in a community, and that's why we need life partners or life friendships or life business partners, whoever you need at a certain time in your life, right? We need cheerleaders in our lives because we need to coexist. We are not islands. An island, you can stay there, the beauty is there, we can see that it's beautiful, but we don't really necessarily need to say, hey, island, you're so pretty. But for a human being, we need that. It's part of life. And you know, when you're self-confident, you have a cheerleader by your side, that means you'll feel accepted, you'll feel seen, you'll be feeling heard. And that is what is going to build your self-confidence. And now we have to take away from that to say, yes, I have a cheerleader, but also I am my own personal cheerleader. I can give you an example. For you to study abroad, it will be difficult. You will live alone. You will be alone, and mostly no one will be there with you. So who is going to cheer with you, cheer on you when you are alone? It's not only living abroad. Even maybe you have a job and you're working in a remote area, in a mine somewhere, in Swakopmund, and maybe you only have your colleagues around you. You will need your boss to cheer you on. You need your colleagues to cheer you on, but you also need yourself to cheer yourself on, because some decisions that you make in life, they will not be understood by everyone, right? And some decision will be ambiguous. They will be so weird. Like, what decision are you making? And now this is what comes in. When you feel you have accepted yourself, you make certain decisions without really always getting approval from people. whether it's your parents or whether it's your siblings, but we need to coexist in life because we are supposed to be partnerships in whatever aspect. And that's why you see, you cannot succeed without bringing people along. You cannot succeed and only be saying you're on the top without allowing other people enjoy that success. Success without other people in it, it's just, you have that, but hey, we see you, but there you are, and us, we are here, and there's a gap between me and you. At the end of the day, we being together as a community, that means we'll need to cheer each other on. Not every day, but we will be our biggest cheerleaders, but other people also need to cheer us on. And that's just how it is. And Sylvia mentioned something that is very important. Sometimes you will take 6 years to get the job that you want. Sometimes it will take you 10 years to meet the partner that you really wish to be with. Sometimes it will be taking you even 6 months to be called to a job interview. Or sometimes it will take you 5 years to have a successful business. And even it's through all these moments that your self-confidence will be tested. When you go through the time of you being in a season where it's dry and it's not raining and it's not sunshine, you will be tested. You will feel like, hey, where is my self-confidence? But if you then tap into the power of you being self-confident and say, hey, I know it's difficult, but I can move forward with this, then that's when you'll see that you can constantly keep on progressing and trying your best to do what's possible. It's not going to be easy. Some days you wake up yourself and you wake up and really question, are you really going to make it? Because it will be slow. And you know, the funny thing about how we lived when we were younger, we used to be in high school or primary school, which was very pivotal, and our teachers will always praise us. At the end of every week, you could easily get appraisal from your teacher if you're a good student. And you'll be told that, hey, you are good, you're so excellent, you can speak well, you can read well. And there was constant reaffirmation and constant gratification. And it was fast-paced. A semester could be like a few months, and at the end of the semester, you have the good grades. But that's not how real life is. Life is, you will be tested. You can take 6 months before you become called to a job interview. But that doesn't mean even in the span of when you are waiting for your interview, you are not enough. You are not worth it. Because now we link our achievements with who we are as human beings. But let me tell you, as a human being, you were born without any accolades or any reports or any certification. You were not born with any certification. And as you were born naked, you were not born with any clothes. That means at some point we learned that it's only when I succeed, I can really feel like I've made it. And I'm not speaking against success. I'm saying, let us, even in the seasons when it's dry, when it's slow, like what Sylvia mentioned, even in those moments, we are still deserving. And this brings me to the next point, what is self-worthy. It links to self-confidence. What is self-worthy? We feel like we are worthy to exist, to be here, or we are worthy to be called to certain rooms, like whether it's jobs or businesses or being flown out of the country to go to another place. Even when you move to another city, you will start to say, oh, do I really deserve to be in the city like Windhoek, right? So our self-worth is measured by what? We start measuring our self-worth by feeling really, or rather, let me say, what is self-worth? It's when we really feel we are worth it, self and worth it. We see the value in us, right? We see that we are worthy to be here and we deserve to be here. But what if some days there will be no reason for you to know why are you worth it? So some days it will bring us to a place where self-worthy is going to be questionable. And when you don't feel self-worthy, that means you'll also not be confident, right? If I don't see the worthy of me creating whatever business I aspire, whether you're selling, whether you're baking, if you don't see the worthiness of you doing that, then you also not practice the belief that you're able to do something. And the funny thing, this all stems from our mind. Our mind is what controls us, or rather our thoughts is what control us. And when you see that you're not worthy, then you don't take the action. You are not worthy to be getting the next good job because you don't feel like that, right? And now society has put us on a very difficult place to be, where we feel we are only able to be self-worthy when we are winning, but we are not worthy to be when we are losing what looks like losing. But remember, even in challenges, even in what looks like failure, there are lessons. For you to really stand up and sell, whether it's you baking or selling your clothes or trying to share a service, you still need to believe that you are able to do this, right? But in the process, you could buy certain products, you want to sell them, and maybe people took away the products without them paying. And then you tell yourself, hey, I'm a bad business person. Why did I allow people to take away my product without them paying for it, right? And then from that action, you tell yourself, hey, I'm not worthy to be a good business person. So let me just cancel this. Let me just try another thing that is not business related. But remember, even in failure, there is a lesson that you learn. And for you to get to the next step, you can't just be winning all the time, what looks like winning. But I believe even failure is a win, because it's from failure that we learn some really pretty difficult lessons, but they propel us to go to the next step. They make us stronger. And self-confidence is about that resilience, even in the dry season when things are looking like only failure, So yes, we were supposed to be winning all the time, but hello, it's not going to be like that every time. And even when it looks like we are losing, we are also learning. And what is the better way of learning? Life is the real teacher. You go to university for a certain degree, but remember, you're not going to use all these skills. But when it comes to life, you will learn from everyday experiences, from you trying out business that will fail, and then you learn from that and say, next time, I will not allow people to pick up my products without paying for my service. I'd rather stay with my products without being paid for, apart from me giving away my products without being paid. And then I'm completely losing my stock, and I'm also losing the money that I could potentially make from my products. So you can see, in the essence of life is winning and losing. They all are parallel, and they were supposed to teach us good lessons. Yes, when we are on top, we'll feel it's easy for us to attain confidence. But when we are at the bottom, we also need to pull stronger, pull deeper for us to feel like we are self-confident. Right. So you can see, at the end of the day, whether we are in a slow season or in a fast season, whether everything is coming to us easily, you can see that there is actually a sense of goodness of us to live and exist with that, whether it's fast, slow, or winning and losing. You can see that there is a connection, that it's really, really forgiving and giving us true, that deepness of being alive and being a human being. And that's what it is like to be a human being. Right. So I spoke about self-confidence, I spoke about self-worthy, and let's talk about self-esteem. Self-esteem is that essence of us feeling like we are valued, or we are valued and we're supposed to live and exist. Our self-worthy is obviously us seeing that we self-worth, we are worthy, we are deserving, right? But self-esteem, on the other hand, it's like you feel like you're a human being, you are important, you are important, you are supposed to be here. That is self-esteem in the essence. But you can notice that you can feel important, but you might not really feel like you're self-confident. And self-esteem can exist without us having our self-confidence, because self-confidence is the ability to believe that we are able to do something. On the other hand, self-esteem is us seeing that we are important people. And the self-esteem comes to us when we are told that, maybe your parents tell you that, yeah, you are really a good person, or maybe your teachers told you that you are really, really good. But sometimes we might not have self-esteem. We just feel like we are useless. Okay. Maria said, then what is self-worthy? Let me just go come to that point. What is self-worthy? You know, self-worthy, it's feeling like you are worthy of being here. You are worthy in a sense, I'm worthy in a sense that I'm deserving to have, you know, I'm deserving to have, or you're worthy to be even in any rooms that you feel you're able to be, whether it's a job or whether it's a business or you're called to be somewhere, you feel you are worthy. Like something is worthy, it has value on it, right? But self-esteem is now feeling like you are having that importance. The importance of being a human being is self-esteem. But you know, the funny thing with self-worthy and self-esteem obviously help us improve on our self-confidence, believing that we're able to do. Because if you are self-confident, you can be self-confident, but you don't really feel worthy, or you don't really feel that you are that important, which is now self-esteem. And why do we feel we are not worthy, or we don't have that self-esteem, we don't have that self-importance? It's because we never got the chance to feel we are important in life. And because maybe it's not only about get the good grades that we attain from our school or the opportunities that we attain, but it's more, even when you get your maybe you get an achievement, you don't feel like you are deserving of that achievement, right? So you don't feel that you're deserving of that achievement because you don't have that self-esteem or self-worth. But they are not the same thing. One is on importance and one is on feeling like you are deserving, and there's this essence of value on you. But on the other end, we can have our importance, we can feel worthy at the end of the day, but we might not be really self-confident. Because if I feel I'm worthy, but I don't believe that I'm able to do something, then at the end of the day, we'll not be able to try new things, right? And these are really interchangeable words that we can interchangeably use them. For example, I feel I'm self-worthy. I have my self-esteem. I have my self-importance. And some other people will show you that they are more important than you. And self-esteem in society can be looked at like, this person is an adult and they are more important than young people. But in real essence, as human beings, we're supposed to be taken, all of us, on the same with open hands, on the same ladder. We're on the same stage to really see that at the end of the day, we are all human beings, not because of what we have or what we became, but we are all like just naturally and organically being born and brought to earth the same way. We are only at different levels in life, and we have different securities, and we have different achievements. But even when we have achieved, it doesn't mean our self-importance is more than another human being. But I know this sounds like a very delusional concept and very weird strategy to say all human beings are on the same stage. But in reality, yes, it was supposed to be like that. And that's why now you see in society, we are put on different pedestals, or maybe teachers are not so much valued, maybe nurses are put not so much valued, maybe our engineers are more valued, or they're seeing like they're doing more. But you know, all of us are here as in a coexistence as a community, completing different tasks that we're supposed to do, so that we now coexist as a community. And that is the importance of life. We need to coexist. We can not all be the same, but at the same time, we can all coexist as self-worthy people and have the same self-esteem. The challenge comes in when we are told differently, that you are important because you are a teacher. You are not important because you are a nurse. This is the concept of life that is teaching us this, which is not the truth. And that's why you see that someone grows up not having the self-worthy, or there's no self-esteem. They don't feel they are important because they've never achieved the first position in high school, right? Or they never achieved the first position in when they were young. So you grow up feeling you are not important. Remember, when we go to family weddings, some people are more important because they bring cows to the wedding. Others are not important at all. But that was not supposed to be how life is. Excuse me, let me take a drink. That's not how it's supposed to be, because at the end of the day, our importance is not attached to what we have. We were just supposed to raise children who are all able to believe in themselves, believe that they're able, believe that they can be unique, can be different, and still feel like they are living. They could be failing, but still they are here for a good reason, to live and be part of nature. So I know this concept that I'm introducing could sound a little bit funny, and I've spoken to a lot of people, especially in Namibia. I lived abroad, but coming back home, obviously it's a challenge, because I know that the mindset could be different. That's why we have the coaching academy, to help others see that it's not really like how we were. It's not really that way. It's not really like, because you were never an achiever, that means you need not to feel like you are an important person. We all ought to be important, because our creation is the same, our creator is the same, right? So we have a society of people who are growing up feeling self-confident, self-worthy, have the self-esteem, but at the end of the day, they will not. Some others are really, really challenged to say they are not self-worthy, they're not having the self-esteem, they don't have that self-importance, because they were already told that they're not smart, they are dumb, and they're not able. And funny thing, we can recreate and change our narratives at any time in life. But because the depth of the roots of doubt, self-doubt, is so deep, we cannot change our stories, because we were already told that we are not enough. And maybe I can give an example. You are really excelling in your career, but your body is not really what the society says. For example, there are some beauty pageants that they only applaud skinny people, but I don't see curvy people or more than skinny people being praised in different beauty pageants. I question that. What community are we raising if we only see people with smaller bodies on TV, but we don't see people who look like us on TV? It's the same thing when we go in an office of a different race, a white man, or a different race who is maybe even lighter. It could not be a white person, it could just be a lighter person. Why we go in the office and feel like we are not that important? And if it's another race, we have to give them a chair, we need to give them the water. The same thing with when we eat at home. Our parents tell us that no, the men should eat first, or the men should just sit down and not do anything, because all these different actions are teaching us that we could be important here, but we cannot be important there. For example, Africans, we are not looked as people who are capable, but Africans are now changing the narratives, whether it's into science, whether it's into business. It's now when we carry ourselves as self-confident and understanding that our importance is equal as another white person, or a different race. It's when we believe that the self-importance and have that self-worthy, when we walk in the world, we can get validation from others, but we still need to have that the depth of our own self-confidence and seeing beyond what society has already taught us. All right, we spoke on that, and so let's see the purpose of self-confidence. What is the purpose of self-confidence? And maybe so far, let me just see in the comment section. Okay, Maria spoke about self-worthy. We spoke about that. Maybe if I would like to see, how do you guys feel about the first part that I explained about that? Self-confidence, self-worthy, self-esteem. Maybe I can just have, or even a person can unmute themselves, or you guys can write in the comment section and let me know what do you what's on your mind so far, what is running in your mind, so that I feel we are together. Yeah, please let me know in the comment section, or unmute and just say anything at this point, and then before I continue on the importance and purpose of self-confidence. Anyone who has something to say?
Okay, what I picked up, you said something was supposed to be winning, but it's okay not to win all day. So that's one of the statements that you said that is still ringing a bell in my heart.
Excuse me, Maria, can you say one more?
I'm saying, you said we're supposed to be winning. As human beings, we were programmed to be winning. But you said it's okay not to win all day because life teaches lessons. So that's one of the things I'm thinking of. Like, yeah, we're not supposed to be winning every time.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. Yes, I hear that. And that really reminds me of humanity being told that you are only important when you have certain amount of things that you are having in your life, right? And we are supposed to only have our self-esteem or importance when we are certain people, but in reality, we are all human beings. And when we grow up and raise even and when we grow up and even raise the future generation believing that we are worthy despite, then that means when they go in the world, they will not only think of, excuse me. All right, Sylvia said, continue, sis. This is amazing. Let me see. Let's mute Victoria, mute yourself. How to mute? Why is it not muted? It's okay, good. All right. Yeah. It's really about seeing that we are all important people. When you walk in a room and you have so much success on all that, don't try to intimidate others who are in that room. You are a human being, others are a human being. And it's not really only looking from a place where when we succeed, good, but we should not step on others. And even when we see that we've attained certain things we're not supposed to be, but society already programmed us that yes, we are the only one who's going to be winning, we're the only one going to be succeeding, all these type of things. Therefore, why do we work in different offices and people feel already maybe not intimidated, but they could feel like it's not so super, you were not supposed to be that person. Like, that question of someone asking, who are you? Right? Who do you think you are? No, we all need to coexist in self-confidence to say we are all here and we are all able, we are all trying, we are all moving forward. But at the end of the day, we are going to attain differently. So intimidation in society is really conditioned in our mind because we're told that there's not enough for all of us, right? If you now had attained all these good things, you think you're the only one who is going to stay there, or you don't want others to get there as well. But life is a journey. Today you are on top, tomorrow you are at the bottom, and that is the essence of life. But the conditioning is already inside us, and now this is our time to undo that and change our stories, especially for the future generation. Because if we only leave it to say, why are you talking about self-confidence? Why are you talking about changing our mindset or becoming different? That means the next generation will still have the same conditioning. a lot of us here are, I mean, both of us here are female, and female are the naturals. They are the caregivers. We are the giver of life to future generations. And I think it's important for us to remember that as we are even growing, we are there to, we will encounter children, and what we need to do first is make sure they leave our homes feeling they are supported, they are validated, they are given the opportunity to attain self-confidence. Because when at least we believe we can try. Even if we fail, we will still continue to try. All right. Now, I want us to speak about the purpose of what is the purpose of self-confidence?
There's a question. There's a comment on. Hello. There's a comment.
Yes.
In the chat.
The chat.
The comment in the chat.
Sylvia said, okay. Continue, sis. This is amazing. Also, sometimes age makes me feel like my contributions are not worthy, especially in my workplace. Oh yeah. Oh yes. That's a very, very important one. Your contribution is not worthy, whether you are young or whether you are old. You could be like a different age. You could be maybe in your late 35 or even late 30s. You could be in your early 20s, right? I don't know all of your situations, but I'm just going to give you guys a gauge or a scale. That's so true. When we are at work, our subordinates or our colleagues will tell us maybe we are young and we were supposed to be, we are not contributing enough, right? Or funny thing, when you're studying abroad, when you studied abroad, you come back to your home country, African country, you will feel your knowledge that you learned is not enough. Oh, thank you, Sylvia, for giving that beautiful example. Great. We have an exact example. 25 years old and 40 years old will tell you that you are not, you don't have the experience, right? And this is an environment that could even be a toxic environment because you are told that you are young. Who are you? Why do you want to give us contribution at the table? Because you are young. You know where this is coming from? Why is a 40-year-old feeling like the young person is not having enough contribution? Remember, one, life is a continuous learning curve. Whether you are at work and you are young, and you might not have all the skills and all the experience, right? Remember that you are there to continue learning. You just maybe graduated. 25 is really prime. You just graduated. You got this good job, or you just a good job. A job is a job, right? And your colleagues are telling you like, you're too young. Who are you to give us suggestions? Or you are too young for you to be even trying to excel, right? These are all different situations. And Sylvia, that is really, really an important example. Whether you are an older person working with younger people will feel intimidated or feel like, who is this young person fast and wanting to do some work? Maybe even feeling like you will end up taking over their bigger positions, right? And where is that stemming from? It's stemming from the lack mentality. Remember the conditioning that most of us already have. We have the conditioning that we are, if I'm winning, others should be just dropping. If I am in a managerial position, the young person maybe will end up taking it because now they have new skills, new technology, new ability, unlike the 40-year-old who was trained in the older generation, right? So you can see those different conditioning that are already in our mind. And let me tell you, a lot of us run with that conditioning. And that conditioning is just there to make us hate each other, not to be in community and in celebratory mode, because if we help each other and we move together as a pack, it looks like that's weird, but we're supposed really to move like a pack because human beings are community people, right? But we are supposed to be told that if I'm getting the managerial position, the younger person will end up coming to take it because that's how it is. There are not enough opportunities for all of us, right? But let me tell you, look at the world that we live in. we have so much resources, we have so much blessings in life, we have so much, there's rain, there's sunshine, there's so much in the creation that is already, it's enough for us. Unfortunately, in African countries and in a lot of developing countries, there's still a lot of us who are suffering because the sharing of resources is not really proportionally shared. Some people have more, some people have less. And now the older person at your workplace will feel intimidated, feel like you are just not in the right place. Either they want to tell you that you should tone down, you should not speak up, you should not communicate, or you should behave a certain way. The same we were told by aunties and uncles and parents at home. That's the same thing that a 40-year-old would want to treat us as young people in the new workplace. And why is it so? It's because of the conditioning that is already there. People are afraid that you'll take away your jobs, or people are afraid that you are really acting like a fresh out of the box kind of experience and skills, and they don't want you to shine. But let me tell you, we can all shine. And now the irony is this: we need to learn to adapt into this environment. Because you will be in your workplace and people will really try to tone you down and put you down because of your age. And you'll feel like you are not contributing enough because already of that conditioning in your mind that, you know what, at 25, you don't have experiences. But let me tell you, 25 in another country, the person could be already way ahead of us or way ahead of experience. Some homes are training children to speak up. Some homes are training children to speak up and share and communicate. Some homes are training children to be the best they can ever be. But some other homes are training people, don't speak up, don't show yourself to the world. Just be in your corner, because the world will really not accept you. So you can see, it's all the environment. It's about the environment who raised you, what you have encountered, what you learned. And at the end of the day, this will put you in a certain box. And that's why you end up feeling a certain way when you're in a group of people, whether it's at work or at home. You maybe not want to share what your thoughts are, or maybe you don't want to really share your experience or allow yourself to shine because you're afraid people will still judge you, because there's already been judgment in our lives. But now this is how we are going to change it. How are we going to change it? I know I'm going to speak about how to improve self-confidence, but let me speak about this specific condition. How are we going to operate in a place where we are not really allowed to be ourselves or be the best version that we can ever be? Remember, in life, you have situations that you can control and things that you cannot control. You can control how you communicate at work. You can control to share your thoughts and ideas at work. You can control to believe in yourself. You can control to be the cheerleader that you want to see from others for yourself. You can control that. But you cannot control about how other people will treat you. Some people will really treat you with like you are nobody, even if you are having a degree at a workplace. But it's how you react on this, what you cannot control. And the 40-year-old tells you that you are nobody at work and makes you feel like you are too much at work. So what is within your control? What's within your control is how you even speak about yourself when you're at work. You tell yourself, Sylvia, I hear you and I see that you're not feeling comfortable, but remember, this is your workplace. Remember that you have attained that degree because you have studied, you worked hard. You are deserving to be at this workplace. You are deserving to even share the contribution that you want to, like whether you want to say, hey, let's have this strategy for the work, or let's do it in this direction. Whatever you feel you want to share, go ahead and say it, because that is within your control. But how your boss and the 40-year-old at your workplace will react and talk to you, that's that's not within your control. So sometimes we'll need to go to the toilet and reassure ourselves, talk to ourselves and say we are able and we're capable. But other times, we really will just sit there and watch. We don't need to shout. We don't need to tell that, hey, we don't need to teach people manners at work. No, we just need to communicate appropriately, right? Therefore, when you find yourself in different environments, when you feel a little bit not comfortable, understand where it's coming from. Understand it's not your responsibility to teach people how to behave in society, but you can teach yourself how to behave and react. Allow yourself to know that you need to shine when you're able to. Allow yourself to believe that even a 40-year-old, they are not thinking like you, and they are not you, so you cannot expect them to treat you the way you would want to be treated. But at the end of the day, you can communicate. If at work there's an opportunity for you to communicate and speak up that, hey, I feel this way, to your maybe HR or to your boss, and it's safe for you to do, then you can do. Otherwise, sometimes we will need to create our little worlds where we feel safe and confident and able to live, even though we don't see it in society. Remember, the journey of self-development is not easy. You will be different. People will frown upon you, and especially new ideas. And let me tell you, 25 in Namibia, they are eager to change their own narrative. They are eager to try out businesses. They are eager to try out new opportunities because it's a different generation. But it's also opposite and different from the people who were born before us. Generations of the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, they think differently. I'm sorry if any one of us here is born in that time. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying it's, we can be rigid to change when we are old, but when we allow ourselves to change, we can still change, right? But it doesn't mean that the change you want, you will really see it immediately in society. It starts with you. It starts with how you relate to your siblings, your children. It starts with you. And then the effort of change will continue like that. Sometimes change is not loud. It's silent. But it's you believing that I'm here, I'm worth it, I am having that self-importance, and I will be able to continue living this life, So I would say that to that question. Thank you, Sylvia, for such a really beautiful interactive question. And yes, I wanted to speak about the purpose of self-confidence. Self-confidence helps us to feel ready for life experiences. When we are confident, we are more likely to move forward with people and opportunities, not back away from them. And if things don't work out at first, confidence helps us try again. And it's the opposite when our self-confidence is low. So it's really important for us to know that self-confidence is important in our life, right? And also, self-confidence also brings about happiness. When you are confident in your abilities, you are happier due to your success. When you are feeling better about your capabilities, the more energized and motivated to take action and achieve your goals. Before the goal comes to life, you need to go through the process of life, right? Experiencing it really, really in reality. And when you are self-confident, you can even feel this happiness that comes out of you. And when you walk outside, people will question, why are you happy? And because we are in a society where people are really not ready to allow happiness to shine and allow comfort and peace to shine. Because remember, our country is only 30 years old. Namibia is only 30 years old. And we were raised by parents who lived in colonial time, and they only believed in hardship and suffering. But now, because we are studying and we are achieving and we are moving forward, what is the reason for us to study hard? It's for us to achieve our goals, right? And what is the essence of us achieving our goals? It's because we are going to benefit from achieving our goals to get a comfortable life. That means we don't need to suffer anymore. But because already 30 years of independence came through hardship, that means we'll still work in society where people are really, really not at peace. People are not at peace with themselves. Sometimes people are still trying to say, I'm not at peace because I don't have $1 million in my pocket, but you have $100 in your pocket. You have $100 in your pocket. And this also brings you to a tip of gratitude, being grateful. It also helps you with self-confidence, because when you are grateful with what you have, it will push you to say, even if I'm not there yet, I will get there. And I believe that I can get there. And that's what is that? It's self-confidence. So you can see the purpose of being self-confidence is allowing us to live peacefully, happily, and believing that we are able to go forward despite the challenges. And this is not a dream. It's not a delusion. It's not being delusional to say that you will live without fear. No, I know later on we'll have a masterclass on fear. This doesn't mean that you will progress without challenges and obstacles? No. But can we coexist with, we have the challenges, but we still feel confident that we can achieve, even if the achievement will take a long, long time, you know? So I would love you guys to take away that it doesn't mean when you are self-confident, that means you are being delusional or imaginary, or you're forgetting that in life there will be a lot of challenges, but it's you walking away that despite everything, I will still achieve, I will still succeed, even if it takes 10 years for me to get there, I will get there, right? And those who I spoke on purpose of self-confidence, I would now like to speak on also highlight on some other feelings, you know, are feelings around pride, being prideful, feelings around happiness, feeling around shame, feeling around sadness. For example, let's talk about shame. When shame comes into your life, when you feel ashamed, right? Or think about it. Why do you feel ashamed? And think, what is the shame doing on your self-confidence? When you feel ashamed, it will kind of make you feel like you are not doing the right thing, and you are in the road, you are in the gutter, and you are not in the right place. When you feel ashamed, it will make you feel you are not able. You're not able, you're not doing the right thing. Shame comes to us when you feel we're not doing the right thing, but also it's trying to cripple our self-confidence. And remember, when you feel ashamed, start remembering that shame is there coming from somewhere within your body, but it's just going to cripple your self-confidence. And it will make you even, being ashamed is not a good place to be, because you will end up feeling like you're not deserving, you don't have that self-importance, you are not supposed to even be happy when you feel this shame or something like that. You know, a person selling candies in the street will feel ashamed and feel like, I don't want people to laugh at me. I feel like I'm not, why am I selling with a degree? Surely, why am I selling with a degree? Why am I in business with a degree? Why cannot I go and sit in an office like other people, right? So you start feeling ashamed, right? And now what does shame do to you? It cripples your self-confidence. And that means you will not try anything again. And then you will just start now telling yourself, the moment you allow negative feelings to prosper in your body, it's the moment you now start feeling like you're not deserving, you're not having the self-esteem anymore, you're not worthy, you will still be like, me, I'm a nobody. When you start feeling you're a nobody, that means your self-confidence is surely running away from yourself. So sometimes different emotions bring the self-confidence as well in our body. And remember, when shame comes up in your life, whatever you're doing, or when you feel prideful, you feel like, yeah, now me, I've done it. You know, when you are prideful, it's because now you want to feel like you're more important than other people. Self-esteem is good, but over self-esteem is not good for our society. We just need to kind of balance and have that equilibrium of emotion to say, I'm important, other people are important. I'm winning, others will win. It's taking slow, but surely I would get there. So those are the balance that we are trying to have in our own personal body, so that when you move with self-confidence and self-worth, believing that you are able, despite we have different emotions. And you'll notice that when you are happy, you will feel more self-confidence. And when we are sad, you will surely maybe start doubting yourself. And doubt will come in, and negative emotions will come in. Sometimes negative emotions comes in to save us from trouble, but sometimes also to make us really feel like we are nobody. Yeah. And those are some emotions that you need to take note of. I would also like to speak on self-judgment. Thank you, Maria. Let me see, Maria saying that's amazing. Self-esteem is important, but over self-esteem is not good. Yes, that's pride. That comes in with pride. That's why you notice that we can have our self-esteem, we can feel we are very important, We are important. You are a doctor, you are important. You are a teacher, you are important. But being overly and wanting to feel others should be lower than you, then that becomes a problem. You know, that's the same thing with even our leaders. Our leaders were supposed to give us that essence that we are all at a place where we are accepted, and leaders were not supposed to be over. There are people who are leading. No, because we are all human beings. And the beauty of life is coexisting in a community where we are working like a food chain or a food web. Thank you, Maria, for that highlight. I would like to speak about, please excuse me. Please excuse me. I'm so sorry to get that distraction. So I was speaking about self-judgment, or rather, let's go on that point of self-importancy. Yes, you are important as a life coach, as a business person, as a doctor. You are very, very important. And that's why we need to teach our children to feel that they are important. But overly importance is a problem, and that starts to become pride. And so we need to work to say that we are all important. There's no one who's above the ladder. There's no one who's above. And that's why, whether you are driving a Benz or whatever, don't look upon who is driving a Corolla, whatever. No, I'm not saying Corolla is nothing, but you know, this is what society is trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us that friction. And when we are in friction, we are divided and we're no more a community. And when you're not a community, and the beauty of having a community is when we'll feel accepted and feel even important. And when you feel accepted and acknowledged, that's when our self-confidence will thrive. So you can see that self-confidence also thrives in community. It does not only thrive when you're alone. Surely we need to have our own self-confidence, but when we are together, the beauty of it's really even brings out the more and more powerful energy from the communities. Okay, so I wanted us to speak about self-judgment. Or self-judgment is when you like put yourself at a place where you feel like you are a failure, and you tell yourself like, yo, who am I? I'm a nobody now, right? Remember, we are conditioned in a certain way to think and believe that we are only better when we are so and so. When we are maybe more money, more cars, more fancy houses, good jobs, all these good things that are external. But now, how about you look around you, and how are you judging? How are you judging yourself? Every single day in the morning, how do you judge yourself? Do you judge yourself to say, oh, I'm a good person, or yourself, I'm not important, I'm not good? The self-judgment is something that now sets you apart from your self-confidence. If you judge yourself so harshly, it's not good for you. When you break a plate in the house, don't tell yourself you're stupid. No, you're no more your mother, you're no more your father, who used to tell you like, surely you are so stupid. Why are you breaking plates in the house? And these are the thoughts that we replay in our adulthood. But because now we are smart and educated people, we need to stop thinking like what was in the 80s and 70s. We need to stop that. And self-judgment is harmful when we really speak negatively to ourselves. Hey, you want your friend to speak kindly to yourself. So who are you to speak negatively to yourself? And that's where the self-judgment is really, really not good. And therefore, we need to allow the beauty within us to shine outside, even when we are failing or when it looks like failure. Remember, I said, even failure is a good thing. But it's difficult to be in a failure mode, you know? It's difficult. I'll be like, when am I going to get out of this failure mode? Or feeling like I'm a failure. But within the failure, we also have the good lessons that we learn, and that's the beauty of life. But honestly, don't speak negatively to yourself, because you are the first cheerleader. Secondly, you are, if you are judging yourself negatively, then you are provoking and diminishing your own self-confidence. And trusting yourself, trusting in your abilities and capacity, and also speaking yourself very well. Don't harshly judge yourself and believing yourself. That is what looks like really working towards a self-confident person. And you need to stop judging yourself in whatever. I don't know what you're judging yourself about, but you need to stop that, because that is not good for you. And for you to move forward, you need to stop the self-judgment. Okay, I want to speak, we already spoke about the importance and how can now we discover the self-confidence within us? Discovering our self-confidence is really to see every day, what are you working? Are you doing what you said you're going to do? Are you putting yourself on a test? Are you giving yourself new challenges? Maybe you have worked in a certain place for 5 years. Are you giving yourself a new challenge? Are you getting too comfortable with your life? Are you allowing yourself to get into a community and speak to new people? Maybe you don't have friends. Are you allowing yourself to make new friends? That is the beauty of discovering your self-confidence. It's when you try. And self-confidence is really about repetition and trying more and more. Okay. Now, if you want to discover your self-confidence, or you're at a place where you feel like your self-confidence is low, ask yourself, why do you feel so? And if you feel maybe you are not self-confident because you were told that you are not beautiful enough, or you are not just enough completely, ask yourself why you believe that. And now, the funny thing is, when you are still living in the shadow and in the echo of the person's voice who brought you up or raised you or said some really nasty negative things to you, you are still living in that shadow. You are still living in the echo of voices that someone said 10 years ago or 20 years ago. Maybe someone didn't accept you like 20 years ago, or maybe your mother was really harsh or father was really harsh on you. But now when you're an adult, you really still live in that echo of your parents telling you that, hey, you're not good enough. You are just a failure. You are a stupid person. Those words are not, they are very familiar to us Africans. You know, those words of someone telling you are stupid, they are very familiar. Or maybe you are just slow, or maybe you are just a lot, you're too much. Those words are really familiar in our communities. But don't live in the echo of someone who said something negative to you 20 years ago. That's what it's about. Freedom is allowing yourself to let go of the pain and allow yourself live in freedom of peace and believing that you are capable. Because that person is no more there. They maybe said it and they never took note of it. You know, they might have said it and they were just making a joke. As Africans, we make negative jokes towards each other. So if you now continue allowing the negative voices of someone spoke to you 30 years ago, hello, you are living in the past and you are here now, right? So you need to live in the present and allowing yourself to have a new chapter every day when you wake up. Tell yourself, I'm self-confident, I can do this, I am able and I'm better. That's how you end up seeing that, okay, now I'm reassuring myself, I'm rediscovering myself, I'm growing slowly and slowly but surely, I am succeeding. Okay. To identify things that affect self-confidence, I think you guys can share with me in the comment section. What do you think affect What do you think affect self-confidence in this day and age? Look into your community, look where you grow up, look into what is around you, look at your environment. What do you think affect our self-confidence? I think I've highlighted already on a lot of them, but still, I would love to hear from you guys. Please let me know in the comment section what affects our self-confidence. Yes, Sylvia says self-doubt. And where is self-doubt coming from? Right? Where is the self-doubt coming from? Yeah, so that even when we know what affects our self-confidence, next time when we are with our friends, we don't let our friends fail. I mean, we don't let now, you know, the good thing is you learn something, you pass it on to the next person. Yeah, we know self-doubt affects our self-confidence. What else? Mostly the society, the people close to you affect you. Yes, yes, yes. Mostly society, when we keep hitting the walls when trying. Oh, yes, that's so true. That's really true. I really love the examples you guys gave. What affects our self-confidence. Let me start with the point of self-doubt. Sylvia saying sorry. Self-doubt will come to us when we don't believe in ourselves, right? We'll doubt ourselves because once upon a time we were told we are not good enough. Self-doubt will also come to us when we don't see the results and you start doubting. Why is my business not picking up? Why am I not able to sell at this end of the month? Sometimes we are trial of things, right? And you'll doubt yourself really a lot because there's no conviction in you that you can do something, and there's no that validation coming from within to say you can do something. And our self-doubt will come from you, but also another person close to you could be a doubtful person. Maybe you have your partner who is really doubting you every single day. Maybe your boyfriend is always like, you are you really trying that? Do you really want to be that? And that's doubt. And where does it come from? It's coming from the condition that it's in our brains, in our mind, in our mindset. And we will doubt ourselves at certain points in time. When things are not working out, we'll doubt ourselves. And when you are doing some courses, you will doubt yourself, like you have selected a course and maybe now you're failing and you're like, did I really make the right choice? You'll start doubting yourself, right? Self-doubt will be there. Yeah, self-doubt will be there. But what do you do when you have self-doubt? Walk out of that and tell yourself that I'm doubting myself, but I will try anyways. And that's now you continuously repeating it in your life. And that's your self-confidence. Maria said, that was Sylvia. Maria, mostly the society, the people close to us affect our self-confidence. Yes, that's so true. People around us will really show us that they are doubting, they don't believe. Sometimes something is also new to them, you know. Someone can doubt you because they also no experience in that area. That's why it's important to speak to a life coach or a therapist or a counselor, or maybe someone who's more experienced than you. It's important for you to walk in rooms that you are celebrated more. I cannot lie to you. Your inner circle will actually diminish your self-confidence and really put you down, especially when you are doing something for the first time, something is new. Sometimes even questioning your friend, like, hey, what are you up to? So did you find a job? That could come from a doubting point of view. You know, maybe you have a friend who doesn't have a job and they're really going through it, but what you do, instead of you supporting them, it's you telling them, have you found your job yet? That could be coming from a doubtful point of view. I'm not saying all questions can come from doubt, but even questions can make us feel even more doubt about ourselves. So what do we want? What do I aspire as a life coach? Is to see people thriving in communities where we support each other, we love each other, we work coherently and work together, where we are really pulling in the same direction. But that's not the truth. That's not that is not our existence. That's why when you learn from today, when you walk into other circles, your community or your family, now don't doubt your sisters and brothers. No, don't doubt your children. Have that, just give them the benefit of the doubt and believe in them. Before they fail, even when they fail, believe in, at least show up believing that they're able, right? So self-doubt comes from there. And it will come, it will continuously come. And let me tell you, these negative feelings, they are not going to go away in our lives. They will continuously come back each and every time when we're experiencing something new, when we go through challenges, when we go through just obstacles, they will come there. But you know, the beauty of emotional intelligence, or the ability to say that you are self-confident, is to say, even when it's challenges, I will still walk through it. I will still move forward. And even when your community doubts you, even when people tell you that you are failing, you need to remind yourself that you are not. It's only them speaking from their point of view, but that's not your point of view. And what is really important is your point of view and God's point of view on you. So that is a really kind reminder. Self-doubt will be there. And let me go to the next point where Lucia is saying, when we keep hitting walls when we are trying, we will, our self-confidence will not push us. Lucia said, when we keep on trying and we hit the walls, we will start doubting ourselves. Yeah, you could be a business person, a student, a mother, and maybe you are even a mother and you have a child that is not listening to you. Every single day you're telling them, do this, do that. The child is not changing. And you'll start doubting, am I even a good mother? Am I even a good mother? Am I even doing the job that God has entrusted me to take care of this child? But let me tell you, when you start doubting, refresh your memory, go back to the drawing boards, have a meeting with yourself. You can only do as much for others to a certain extent. You cannot really change someone. Someone can only change when they allow themselves to change. You cannot push someone to change, even whether it's your partner, your spouse, your friends. And when we are changing in the realm of us trying new things, we hit the walls. Maybe you tried this business, or maybe you're trying to parent, you're trying to be a good mother, but it's failing. You start doubting yourself that, am I even a good mother? But hey, you are a good mother unless you are neglecting your responsibilities. If you are neglecting them, then that we have the room to call you that you're not a good mother. But if you are really eager to try, even when you're failing, say you are a good mother because you have tried. A child is also a human being with their own emotions and rights, and therefore they will make their own choices at the end of the day. That's why even parents tell us to become doctors, but not all of us have selected to be doctors, right? Because we all make choices. It's the same for our parents. It's the same for us being parents and parenting our own children. Because even in those times when we are trying something new, or we are hitting the walls, your baby cannot even just be a physical human being. It can be a baby of a business. It can be a baby of you trying to apply for a scholarship, trying to apply for new opportunities. But hey, trust yourself, because you have tried. You have tried. I would love to know that, at least by a show of hand, I failed because there was no opportunity, but I've tried my best, and therefore I cannot keep on doubting myself, because all I need is a pat on the back and tell myself that I have tried and I will continue trying. Let it take 10 years, but I will continue trying. Yes, you will doubt yourself, but continue trying. Whether it's parenting, whether it's you applying for jobs or going for job interviews, whether it's you trying to grow a business, some things really, really look ambiguous and they are so new to people. Some people will look at you and say, you want to have a family by 25? What is that? Or maybe you want to have a very good job at 25. Sometimes people want to keep you in their boxes, in their cages of their own boxes, because they are not familiar with you being better than them. And it's not like they're looking at it from a bad point of view. It's because they just don't know. Not all our capacity is the same. We are all not able to look at life situations the same, right? Therefore, even self-doubt will come from people around us, but also when we try new things, we'll feel doubtful of ourselves. But in those times, yes, feel doubtful, but still pick yourself up and continue to move forward. All right. And the last point that Maria Shriver shared is that, Sylvia mentioned a very important thing. She said, especially in our era, let's not forget social media influencing. Yes, girl, social media is a place that we get a lot of self-doubt. Because why? We are really able to tap online and see who is doing better. And remember, social media is just a highlight for someone to give you a 10-second of their life. It's not the full, you don't know what is in my background. I've created this, I've given you guys a background in this meeting. You don't know my home where I live. I've tried to curate my social media very well. Why? Because it's like a CV. When you look for a job, you don't want to share all the dirty laundry in your home. You want to share the best picture of you. It's like the best foot forward. And honestly, the ability to access someone's life without even talking to them, you might have not spoken to your friend or your best friend from high school for 20 years ago. But now, because you have social media, you can look at them. Oh, now they've bought a car. Oh, now they have gotten married. Oh, now they have a child. And then you start telling yourself, oh, now my life is over because they are winning. And that's the funny thing about the irony about us seeing our other friends online. Because the irony is that when other people are winning, we are failing. No, let your friend shine and really try to improve yourself until where you get to a place where you see someone on social media and your heart does not say like, bum, bum, bum. Your heart start beating fast. Like, oh my God, now look at them. They've succeeded. Oh my God, look, they're a good car. This is the thoughts that goes through our mind when we see people with their cars and houses on social media. That's the truth. And for most of us, really start doubting ourselves when we look on social media. Yet you can use some techniques about gorging yourself, not to get triggered, not to start doubting yourself. Maybe you are in a low season where you're really trying your best to grow whatever you're trying to grow, and you don't want to be reminded that others are going forward. Yes, you can be in that season, but even when people are going forward, doesn't mean that your life is behind. It just means that you are in that season. You are in the growing season, and you cannot be in the planting, in the harvesting season if you have not put in the work. That's the beauty of life. You have not put in the work. That means you cannot be in the harvesting season. And what you see on social media is a lot of harvesting, whether it's a farmer, whether it's a lawyer, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a teacher. A teacher has gotten their job because they went to hundreds of interviews. And that is their harvesting season. Maybe it's a business. They've gone to business, like they have a flourishing business online because they have put in the work of 1,000 hours a year to really grow their business. And don't expect yourself to have self-gratification instantly because just because you are born and you're so important doesn't mean that your success will come just tomorrow. No. And that is the ugliness of social media. We often see a lot of we see other people's lives and we start feeling like our lives are behind. Our lives are not behind. We are just in the season of growing and planting and weeding. I mean, taking out the grass and the difficult, taking out, eliminating, but it doesn't mean we are behind. It's just that we are not going to grow at the same pace. And that is a kind reminder for us to remember social media will be there. It's a very beautiful tool, but let's use it wisely so that it doesn't hinder on our own self-confidence. Yes, and especially in our era, let's not forget social media influence. All right, Sylvia, I've spoken about that. Indeed, social media may paint an unrealistic picture of life. Yes, that's really beautiful, Maria. You shared that. Social media paints a very different picture about life. It only highlights the best things that happen to us. It doesn't highlight the struggles. I'm sure one of you guys have maybe experienced building a business. building a business is so hard, but all of us, we want to be entrepreneurs. Even getting a good job is so hard because you have to go through countless hours of preparation, doubting yourself, crying, and even just being a parent is so hard. What you see online of a parent who has a child that is thriving, you don't know how many hours of this parent who had cried, you know? So we need to allow ourselves to realize that we should, as Maria said in the comment section, clap for others, but also remember that social media is just a highlight of someone's harvest, but not the ultimate whole process. Because surely we cannot be blogging about all our challenges and everything every single day. We can't, because we don't have enough time. So we clap for others in the process of us getting to where we want, but also we should not really consume a lot of social media, so that, especially when you're facing challenges, let's have that downtime. Let's rest. Let's allow ourselves to just be, you know, let's allow ourselves to live, because life is hard, but life is beautiful as well. Okay. Now let's come to applying the strategies of us building our self-confidence, right? To build self-confidence, you will need you can do a lot of work. You can do a lot of work. You can practice. You can go to school, study very hard, get a degree, and then you can be very confident in certain skills. For example, speaking, coaching, helping people to the hospital. You know, the good thing about going to school, you gain knowledge, and then you show that I've achieved this degree, and the degree helps you to feel confident. That means training can help us develop our self-confidence. And our self-confidence can also be improved from practicing. If you are a baker, I'm sure at the beginning of time when you started baking, you were never a good baker as now you are baking, right, Maria? Because she's a baker, she told us in the beginning. So I'm sure at the beginning you were really doubting yourself.
Indeed.
Right? I know the beauty of the process, right? That's why they say trust the process. I know somebody in Namibia has a mentioned a product called Trust the Process, because we need to trust the process. The beginning will be very, very hard, but in the process, you will have the beautiful moments, the highlights, and the low. At the end, where it looks like the end is never there, because the end is really not there. It's just us living life up, down, up, down, up, down, until the last breath that we take from earth. But in the process, we'll have the beautiful feelings of love, happiness, joy, self-confidence, all of these good things. But in the process, there will also be tears. We'll be crying our eyes out. We will be feeling so much ashamed of who we are. We will be having our sleepless nights, and we'll be really doubtful of our abilities. But how you can help your self-confidence is the strategy of employing practice makes perfect. Every day, practice. Maybe you want to learn a new skill. You want to learn how to edit videos. You want to learn how to write. Maybe you want to write a book one day. You want to have your own agency or whatever job that you aspire. Practice and leave it already. Believe that you can already. And this brings me to a place of positive self-talk. If you want to attain self-confidence, speak to yourself confidently every day. Wake up 5 a.m. or 6 a.m., 7 a.m. before you go to work or wherever you go. Tell yourself that you are already achieving what you aspire to achieve, and you are capable and you are blessed. Tell yourself all those beautiful things in the morning, whatever you want to. And this is what they call, wait, why is it getting dark? Oh, let me charge the phone before it goes off. Excuse me. Okay. God, please Let it not go out. Go out. All right. I was just charging it. I was almost going to lose you guys. So I put my phone on the phone now. I mean, on the charger. So I was speaking about positive self-talk. Every morning when you wake up, tell yourself in the mirror, you are beautiful, you are capable, you are able. And that's how you build your self-confidence. Sometimes when you're hitting the wall and it's failing, tell yourself that you are winning. Today you are winning. You know, today you are winning. Right. So every morning you need to speak to yourself confidently on positive affirmations. I know people like thrown upon positive affirmations and they'll be like, yo, what is that? What are you trying to teach us? But darling, are oh, okay. Beautiful, Sylvia, beautiful. So you need to believe that you are capable. Every single day, speak positively to yourself. That is the power of positive affirmation and speaking positively to yourself. And something that you need to remember, the tongue has the power. What you speak with your own mouth has the power to change your life. If you speak goodness upon yourself, you will achieve goodness. If you speak negatively upon yourself, you will get that negative. And when you speak negative, everything that you'll see is negative. It's so funny. Sometimes life really prepares you, but also sometimes life will show you that you are blessed and you are enough. You know, there could just be someone coming on your way and share with you beautiful blessings and opportunity, open a door for you. But on the other hand, if you speak negatively, you say, oh, I will never be happy, or I'll never find this dream boyfriend or whatever, or I'll never get the husband, or I'll never get married. Oh, the negativity likes to live where it is. You will see that when you speak negatively, you will end up seeing that every single day. So live in the delusional, if it has to be called that way, but it's not delusional, it's the real signs of expansion and mindset, positive mindset and growth mindset. Therefore, aspire to speak positively to yourself every day. This will help you enhances your self-confidence. And another beautiful strategy to help you building your self-confidence is challenging negative self-talk. When you speak negatively, cancel it with a positive affirmation. When it's negative, cancel it with something positive. When someone says, oh, you're too ugly, cancel it with your own thoughts and say, no, I am surely beautiful. When someone says, you are not going to succeed, cancel it by saying, I am surely going to succeed. Even when it's a joke, tell them that sounds like a negative, but I believe I will make it. When someone says you are not a good cooker, tell them I know it could be like a joke, right? But tell them you are on the way to becoming a good cooker and you do not want to allow the negative words to really challenge and create your narratives. That's the beauty of our own thoughts. And when we use our own thoughts, they will show us a direction. Like just try it even for 30 days, speaking positively to yourself. And allowing the inner critic, you know, that voice that is always in your head and telling yourself that you're not good enough, you are a shameful person, that negative self-talk, inner critic, cancel it with positive affirmation. And when you do that, you'll see changes in your own life. And I know when you start changing your life, even around you, it will start feeling like it's a foreign land, because maybe you are on a journey of improving your life, but other people who are around you are not really doing that. But remember that you're doing it for yourself, for your children. At least let your children grow in an opportunity of growing up in a place where they were never shouted that they are stupid. Yes, we cannot control how aunties and uncles and everyone around us speak to our children, but at least let it start with you as a mother or a parent to say, you are not going to allow and speak negatively to your children. And that's how we teach and change society. It starts with us and then goes to the next generation. The next generation takes you to the next generation. At least we know we are going to die. We have tried changing the narratives of an African child. So next strategy is using social support. Remember, Maria, you asked earlier to say, why do we need to get validation from others, or why do we need to get support from others? This is another beautiful strategy to use. We need to utilize our circle very well. If you see that you have a person, a friend who supports you so much, utilize that. Because when your friend affirms you and say you are a good person, you will learn, you will grow from that. And growing from that is beautiful because it then makes you feel confident. A drop of self-confidence in you today will surely burst the bubble of self-confidence for yourself tomorrow. And use your social settings very wisely. Go where you are celebrated. Go where you are loved. Go where you are accepted, because that will also help with self-confidence. And when you're accepted, you will feel more cheerful. When someone has accepted you with who you are, even when you go and try in the world and you fail, the exterior world might say you are not able. But if your internal world is telling you that you are able, girl, you know how much you will fly and soar? You will, because already at home you are accepted. And that's the beauty of social and community. That means when we are in our community, we should also allow others the opportunity to shine when they are around us, so that the next person's bubble of confidence will be expanding and burst for the next person to also benefit. So it's a chain of us changing and also changing people around us. It could just be one person, but at least change that one person. You don't have to change the entire office or the whole world. Just change the person who is close to you. All right. Another strategy is seeking and receiving feedback as a confident person. So there's something about, if you're not self-confident, when someone speaks negatively to you, maybe sometimes it's not negative, sometimes it's just feedback. The feedback can be like, oh, hey, you are doing this business, but I don't think you are a life coach, really, but you don't know how to speak. We want to train in public speaking, maybe. That can be a feedback, right? Constructive feedback sounds like that. It doesn't sound like, oh, you're stupid, you're not a good person. No. Even when we deliver feedback, we're supposed to be kind to each other, right? So look into around you and really analyze and look where you can get positive feedback, even constructive feedback, because feedback really will help you change. If it's a business you're running, you need feedback. And I would really want to share this now. I hope that after the masterclass, you can really, really share with us the feedback so that we know where we can grow and also improve, That's just a shameless plug, but I would love you guys to share with me some feedback and reviews and stuff like that after the masterclass. And I should also mention, I will share with you some documents, some links, some videos, and when you want to improve on your self-confidence, you are always welcome to come back to us and talk to us like for free about self-confidence, like for free, completely for free. When you feel like, hey, Rose, today I really don't feel confident, let me ask you a question. Why are you feeling confident? And then we'll talk about it, whether it's through a chat or an audio call on WhatsApp, whatever platform we are able to communicate. So we are building a community for people who are trying to attain the best version of themselves. And that is our aspiration as a business. And I really hope that today's masterclass is not the last time we are speaking to each other. When you have a challenge around self-confidence, or you don't feel like today you are doubting yourself, come to my inbox and tell me like, Rose, Coach Rose, today I feel doubtful of myself. What nugget can you share with me? And then I'll share with you, and we move forward like that. Okay, so I was talking about getting positive feedback or going into places where you can get feedback. If you trust a certain person can give you a positive and constructive feedback, go to that person, right? If you know someone who is just there to give you negative feedback, don't go there. Don't go there. So look for where positive feedback is. And you as a self-confident person, you need to know that constructive feedback is important. I know we are bruised when someone starts telling you like, hey, but you're not doing the right thing. We already start feeling defensive and feeling already like, no, but I'm doing the right thing. You are just jealous of me. No, sometimes feedback is not about jealousy. It's about us listening and allowing this to help us improve, All right. Another strategy is, of course, dealing with criticism as a self-confident person. Criticism is a good thing. Some people really tell you that criticism is there. We need to get good and bad feedback from people. Sometimes criticism can come. I'm not saying people should insult you, but let you get feedback and criticism from others. It's okay. As a self-confident person, you take that and work with it. It doesn't mean that when you're now given a small pinch of negative feedback or criticism, or you're not doing good, maybe you're not cleaning your home very well, and your mother tells you, please clean better. It's not a bad thing. Or maybe they say, you're always going out of the home in the night. When your mother say, please don't go out at night, it's good your parents are telling you that. Maybe you are sleeping around so much. When one of your friend or parents tells you that, stop sleeping around, it's good criticism. Don't just walk with an ego and boastful and pride saying, no, I'm an adult, I need to sleep around, I can do what I want to do, and my life is my life, blah, 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 things like that. No, as a confident person, you don't do that. You allow criticism and you allow it to propel you. You allow the criticism to help you at least and say, hey, I want to listen to this. I want to see if this is really going to help me, right? That's how it is. In life, we need to give each other feedback. We need to criticize each other. But at the end of the day, in life, we will get negative criticism, but we need to work with that. It doesn't mean a small pinch of negativity, you're already like abrasive and you're already angry and trying to be defensive. Okay, the next part is how to use body language physically to feel and appear confident. You know, on the other hand, dress up very well. You know, sometimes you might not have prepared well for an interview. Go to the interview dressing up like you own it, like you're going to win. Using yourself as an example. You should be a walking billboard, rather. It doesn't have to be for the world, but be a walking billboard for yourself. I can't lie to you, I love living in pants and sweaters and living comfortable, and as long as my place is clean, I love simple, easy life, you know. But if I'm gonna go and give a speech somewhere, I should at least try my best, you know. I should at least try my best and not show up like I don't know what I'm doing, you know. Looking beautiful, if you just take a challenge every day, you're going to groom your hair, comb your hair, looking pretty, making a beautiful hairstyle, and putting your clothes on very well. If you're going to do that for the next 30 days, you will come back and tell me that, hey, Rose, that strategy worked. I really improved in my self-confidence. Let me drink some water. Looking beautiful is another way for you to work to your self-confidence. Grooming, like we call it in coaching, grooming yourself. How are you presenting yourself? Just like a CV, you need to look presentable when you're walking into rooms that you want opportunities, or in rooms where you want to partner with people. You need to walk with that courage, but not only a smile, but also the self-confidence. I know one of you mentioned in the comment section, like working with self-confidence is also a way of dressing up. Yes, be confident, but at the same time, also look beautiful. Dress up, braid your hair, put on makeup if you want to. You know, do you know the level of confidence that comes to ladies when they enhances their face? The makeup that you guys do, like we have a beautiful, amazing makeup artist in Namibia. You go to them, they make you look pretty for your graduation, for your wedding day, and oh, you will feel like you are on top of the world. And remember, when you're on top of the world, don't want to step on others, because why? We are all human beings coexisting. But at the end of the day, it's true. In the beauty that we shape, the way we groom our bodies, it will help with our self-confidence. That's a very easy trick. It doesn't even have to involve other people. You just need to make sure you are clean, wash yourself, brush your teeth. Grooming will make you feel confident. If you're not brushing yourself, surely when you're going to the interview, you don't even want to open your mouth, right? So these are so small things of how to improve your self-confidence. And when you go around people, don't act like you don't have the energy. When you're in the boardroom, speak like you are owning it. Don't be like you're answering the question to your boss and then you're just like sleeping. You know, your body language should show that you are a self-confident person. The way you dress up should show that you are a self-confident person. Okay, let's move fast. We started at 10:30. Now it's already 12:30. It's nearly 2 hours, but I want to give you guys like 10 minutes to speak to us, like speak to me if you have anything. And now let's talk about appreciating the importance of setting goals and to build self-confidence and developing goal strategies. You know, in life, if we walk without a plan, we fail. If we fail to plan, that means we already failed. It's important for us the importance of setting goals. Why is it important for you to have a goal? At least when you have a goal and you plan your life, it kind of helps you to have a direction, right? So even in the journey of you improving your self-confidence, you should allow yourself to have a strategy and also have a goal that you are aspiring to attain. You cannot just walk around like that. Next masterclass will happen next Saturday. We'll talk about personal finances. And the most important thing is plan your money, plan your life. Yes, sometimes we'll not get everything that we aspire, but at least know what you want. You know, when you're praying, if you're a Christian, you're praying to get something. It's the same as strategy planning or goal planning or goal setting. You have to have your goals set for your life. Don't just walk around. Even if things don't go according to plan, at least you know it might shift to this direction, but you know you are heading to this direction. And when it shifts, try to come back to the direction that you wanted to go. You know, you could fail once in now goal setting can show you where are you heading to. And if you have a 5-year plan, it's good. You should draw up a 5-year plan for your life and draw up a realistic plan for your life so that at least you are able to know where you are going. And when you have a plan, it also helps you with self-confidence. You know why it helps with self-confidence? Is because now when you have a plan and you start and you say, okay, I'm starting this business. Okay, I'm getting to this point. I encounter a problem. You know what will take you from this side to the other side is your self-confidence and your motivation and your courage. But if you don't tell yourself that, if you don't make plans clear and you don't put up a strategic plan for yourself, then it becomes a problem. So I would really urge you guys to draw up plans for your life, create the life that you want, write down your plan, take a journal, write your plan. It doesn't have to be bombastic. It doesn't have to be a vision board, but you know, when you create a vision board, you will start believing it, you start seeing it. Create a vision board if you have to. But at the end of the day, plan your life. It doesn't have to go according to the plan, but plan it. And don't plan it to make your mother happy. Plan it for you, Sylvia, Maria, Lucia. Plan it for yourself. It's not for other people, but for yourself. And with that, I would love to conclude our masterclass. We've spoken about discovering our self-confidence, why it's important. We spoke about our identifying the things that affect our self-confidence, strategies to apply on our self-confidence, and also appreciate the importance of setting goals so that we can build our confident lifestyles. And I'll stop recording now, and then we just have a little chat that is like more one-to-one and personal, and then we'll end our masterclass here. Okay, I'll stop recording now.